The lawn changed before what people considered unacceptable. That's amazing. What the f is that? Bros are running in the dumbest way possible as the big bad wolf is coming after Little Red Riding Hood. Just seeing some of this stuff and knowing like where shit goes, man, in the last season, just breaks your heart. Breaks your heart. Excuse me? Oh. You all thought it, right? It's cool to see this versus what it was like at UA at the start of My Hero under different teachers and their different structures of how they taught things. What type of stripper or joint were you working at for your work study? I would really like to know. Let's get a flashback. Oh my god. It is funny though, because she literally did have to change what she's allowed to do because of how much she pushed boundaries, right? So that's why she covers up more. But she did indeed refine and redefine what is acceptable to wear in Japan. That is true. I also have questions about if there's anything going on between the legs to cover up what we're seeing. Okay. You know what? Let's just fuck the Knuckle Duster plotline. Let's keep this going. One of the greatest bits of information you'll always have about My Hero is the fact that a character like Midnight pushed the boundaries of what is and isn't acceptable so much with her outlandish outfits that Japan had to change censorship laws. They had to say what is and isn't acceptable because what they thought would be common sense, boy golly, when her mentor was as flamboyantly badass as Purple was, she pushed it. When you look at something like that, you're convinced there's nothing going on covering underwear wise. It's just pouches and dreams. Fucking hell, man. But you know what? Besides the hardness that this scene might give you, what's even harder is actually seeing Aizawa and his friend group knowing what we know about the last couple seasons of My Hero Academia's main series. Took me a minute. I was like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure I recognize him. I thought to myself, huh, isn't this what got revealed? Like, what was it, season 6 or season... It might have been season 7, I forget which one. Oh, bro, Kurogiri? Damn, bro. Sad day for Rain. But what a fucking beautiful episode. I think we all probably walked in thinking it was going to be Knuckle Duster heavy. I don't give a shit. Aizawa being one of my favorite characters of My Hero, been a top 5, top 10 character minimum since the show basically started, and absolutely fantastic. With the world, both us as the viewer and internally in this series, we're not ready for R-rated My Hero Academia, and whether it's Cloud Jerkin or Midnight fan service, we eating good. Got this far of the video though, you know what to do. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and Patreon is where it catches full live reactions, all some more, which does help fund the channel and videos just like the one you're watching, so do consider supporting if you so wish. It is nice to see though that certain characters, when you consider their role in the main show, they never grew up. They just grew into their role, and you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, Mike. I would have it no other way. But I think what's interesting, and I think given that he never apparently thought of himself as working as a teacher, seeing how much he struggled. Now, it could just be that I haven't seen the first few seasons of My Hero since they released, so that was many moons ago. Maybe Aizawa has hinted at this type of stuff before, but I actually didn't realize how much he struggled when he was in school. He was an outcast. His ability was deemed not suited for combat. And I think it's really funny because when you look at how he fights in the main show, his ability is absolutely suited for combat. I mean, look at the final season. He was one of like maybe 10 characters, which I know sounds like a lot, but 10 characters in the grand picture of how many fought at the end battle of My Hero is actually quite small. Without him, everyone would have died very quickly. Like, without his eraser ability, it would have been game over. But not only that, all throughout the main show, and hell, even in Vigilantes, you can see how good he is at physical combat. But seeing how he struggled when in school was a really interesting addition, and I think it makes the early teachings of Deku so much more impactful. And I think that's what I really love about Vigilantes, is that yes, it aids into the enjoyment of the main show, but it also does stand on its own two legs as being a self-contained show with everything that we're seeing, right? But I'm not going to deny, I think seeing everything that we saw here was my favorite point. I mean, I actually thought the reason the cat was no longer with Buddy is because of, you know, a death, and then Midnight ended up taking it. Turns out she yeeted that and yoinked that cat a lot sooner. I think that's absolutely adorable. But I will say, bro just casually stripping down to his birthday suit and then using his clouds as a cover-up I thought he was doing something completely different. Turns out he just wanted a kitty cat to appear. Talk about pulling a rabbit out of your hat. I thought that's adorable. But I think, you know, my second favorite part of the episode is actually learning why he's like, hey, bro, unless you're actually going to take this cat, you shouldn't do it. Because for him, it's like, once you start staring back at something and you get connected, unless you're just a piece of shit, you're going to want to continue to help that living thing. So unless you can take care of this cat, stop carrying it around. It's just cruel at that point. And you can actually see where he's coming from, of course. But it's just so interesting because I would argue, out of all of the episodes of My Hero Academia, there's only really one episode that kind of rivals this for Aizawa's character, and that is in the main show when Mike and him interact with Kurogiri. I think it's like episode season 7, maybe no, it has to be season 7 because season 8 was just the conclusion of the battle. And I think that's probably the only episode that really rivals the depth that they gave to his character here. And I think they did a hell of a good job. I mean, at the end of the day, R-rated heroes are gonna be pushing the boundaries one way or another, but it is hilarious to see just how much she actually pushed the boundaries and how she knew what she was doing the whole time. But at the end of the day, even I wasn't ready for the amount of insanity that she was willing to pull, you know? It's a beautiful thing to witness. Honestly, don't know how much they're going to give us for purple here, but I'm hoping it's a decent amount because that just seems wonderful, especially with the almost like handsome Squidward looking face going on here. Just absolutely beautiful. Fantastic episode. I mean, I'm sure there will be some people disappointed that we didn't immediately focus more on the whole Knuckle Duster plotline after the immediate reveal. But to be honest, the thing that I've liked the most about this season is how it's fleshed out things that I've already loved about the My Hero world in the main show, but most importantly, it's felt differently structured. Like, the side cast is bigger than what should be the main cast, and the main cast is the Crawler, of course, Pop Step, and the like. Great episode. I would argue it's just as good as last week's episode, just in a different way, of course. But you can let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of, you know, the reveal of R-rated My Hero Academia is too horned up for this world? Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, of course. And yes, Patreon, full live reactions and exclusives do live over there, which, yes, funds the channel, which is why I love to give those video shoutouts because they make it all possible. So today we got Gaius, Shareable Cockroach, Harley Dave, Waka866, Joseph, 46, Doc, and we also have Tyron. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.